that the crocodile?
we are getting a Clayface movie. This has sort of been tinkering away in the background at DC. We've now got the lead actor cast. Tom Reese Harries has landed the role of Clayface. Now, this is a guy I have no idea. Don't even know who he is.
I
No
don't either.
idea. This is a DC Studios movie directed by James Watkins. So this is Deadline's article. It says, when it came to casting the lead in DC Studios' next big movie, Clayface, the studio went with a fresh face, that being Welsh actor Tom Reese Harries. So the actor from the Uma Thurman starring Apple TV series Suspicion, which I don't watch Apple TV, so it's no surprise I don't know him. And such movies as Uberto Pasolini, The Return, starring Ray Fiennes and Juliette Binoche, the Gerard Butler action title Kandahar and Guy Ritchie's The Gentleman. Oh, he was in The Gentleman. Yeah, I remember him from The Gentleman now.
He was also in Doctor Who.
Yeah, landed the role from a competitive list of British thespians that included 28 years later Jack O'Connell, The Hunger Games, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, Tom Blythe, and 1970s George Mackay. So it's interesting. They were definitely just looking for a British person by the looks of it. So that's
somebody that's cheap.
So the movie from Speak No Evil, director James Watkins, is the next big project for James Gunn and Peter Safran's DC Studios after blah, 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 blah. So Clayface will be shooting at Warner Brothers Leavesden studio in the UK. So Clayface, for those who don't know, shape-shifting villain, obviously. They look to be going with the one which is more from the animated, if I remember rightly. Pretty certain I read that somewhere. So, like, I've been saying for ages that what DC should have done, and I've been on record saying it. I'm not saying they're doing it with this one, by the way, but this is what they absolutely should do. Superhero movies have kind of died a death a little bit there, and I think I always said what DC should do is do genre movies, and I said DC needs to make a body horror Clayface movie because it lends itself so well to like a proper body horror Thing-esque movie. You know, you've got this human, I don't know, that gains the ability to sort of shapeshift but doesn't quite understand it, and it's sort of all like falling apart, and you know, there's organs sort of melting into this sort of clay material. I mean, it'd be disgusting. Like, it'd be truly disgusting. It'd be gross. But what an interesting twist, you know, on a comic book character. I think that'd be amazing. And you look at Clayface in the background here. That is quite body horror-esque. I'm not saying they're going that route. Obviously, we don't really know properly where they're going with it. But I hope they do. It's good to see. I mean, I presume they've got a British actor because they are filming in England as well. So it makes sense. You know, asking an American actor to come across for X, Y, and Z amount of time doesn't really make too much sense. More costly for them for contracting purposes, blah, 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 blah. But good. Like, it's nice to see up-and-comers, relative no-namers getting a chance. You know, we see the same sort of circulation of actors and have done for quite a while. It's nice to see newbies, relative newbies, getting a shot. So I'm actually quite looking forward to this. You know, just because I think it will be an interesting take. It's going to be, I think this is written, if I remember rightly, by. Do they have it down here? So the first draft, blah blah blah. Mike Flanagan. There you go, Mike Flanagan, the guy who did all those horror films on Netflix and stuff. I think it could be decent. So there you go. Thought we would report on it. What do you guys think?
I guess I'll go first. I liked Clayface. Batman the Animated Series, he was one of my favorite villains in there. I mean, if they get somebody, and it sounds like they might be going in the right direction with this, story-wise, And if they can get the CGI for Clayface right to where it doesn't look cheesy and dumb, I think
Mm.
it'll work. But they have got to put if they're going to invest any. I mean, they already got a nobody guy playing this. I was literally just looking at his IMDb. I don't know any of this stuff that he's been in, and all the ratings on this stuff. I think The Gentleman was the highest rated thing he's been in at a 7.
That's a great movie, though. That is a great movie.
So everything else outside of that is like 6 and below. And yeah, like you were saying, I've never heard of this guy. No clue who he is. So he's not, they're getting him on the cheap. So they need to put all their money into the special effects for this. Uh, you know, just get a good solid story in there. Focus on the special effects for Clayface. If they can nail that, yeah, I think it'll be good. I mean, the people that did the Penguin show, God, knocked it out of the park. It's probably one of the best shows I've seen in the last 3 or 4 years. The Penguin show on HBO. So I wish they'd get some of those writers that worked on that show involved in this, but. Yeah, if they focus on that, I think they'll be all right. I'm curious and interested to see this because, like I said, Clayface and Batman animated series was awesome.
Yeah, I'm right with you. I think that there's an opportunity here to deliver a character and to do as Nate suggested, have a real body horror appearance and a situation that really disturbs you on a mental level, which is always the best kind of horror. But what I really enjoy about this character, especially from that animated series, is that it's for whatever reason very believable situation, which is hard to do with something like this. And I think that the performance from this actor is going to matter. But I believe, as you do, Nick, that they have to be spot on with its appearance. This has to be the best CGI we've seen in a long time. This has to be better than the symbiote from all of the Sony products that were marginal, in my opinion. I want this to be. I want this to be good, but I want all of DC to be good. So, despite the fact that I'm so hesitant with my enthusiasm for Superman, it never changes the fact that I just want these things to be good. DC needs a proper go. They haven't had a proper go since Christopher Nolan's Batman. And I think that Zack Snyder let us down. And that's why it was so disappointing to hear that Gunn actually sought out advice from Zack Snyder about the Superman costume, which I was like, who cares what he thinks, dude? Who cares? Anyway, I think Snyder gave us a very dark world that we didn't need at that time, and I hope that James Gunn can replace it with things like Superman, Supergirl, and this. I don't have faith in Supergirl, but this I think they can do right by, and I hope they do. And again, they picked an actor that wasn't going to be very expensive as a newcomer, and I think that gives us a unique opportunity here. I don't know. What do you think, Bo?
Do you want me to be honest?
Yeah, go on.
Yes.
I'm not enthusiastic about this. I've never heard of Tom Rhys-Harris. I've never heard of Clayface. DC is dumb. Marvel is dumb. Nearly all superhero stories are dumb.
You need to watch Winter Soldier, Bo.
I said nearly all because it's not all. It's not all. Some are good. Some are good. But I've never heard of Clayface. I'm not a diehard DC fan that read the comic as a kid or whatever. So I've never heard of Clayface. I've never heard of this dude. What do you want from me? Sorry. Sorry.
That's fair. That's completely fair. Absolutely fair. We've got another quick. Oh no. Okay. Well, yeah. We'll move on from this.